Uh, all right. It's on live now. Okay. Just get back out of here. We're going to go to Zoom here. All right. We're live, everyone. Shalom. I'm Brother Doug with the Awakened by Yahuwah Assembly and Yahuwah Almighty Yahushua Messiah tonight. Because there's a pagan holiday coming up. I wanted to do an expose type of study on the topic of baby showers and Mother's Day, and whether that is really biblical or not, whether we find any proof in Scripture that we should be exalting mothers, and did this idea of exalting a mother really start as exalting human women, or did it start with actual goddesses and false gods? Okay, so we're going to be getting into all that with this study. All right. Okay. All right. Let's see here. So we're going to go to where's my Google Docs here? Okay. All right. So let's see here. Yeah. All right. First, we're going to go through some scriptures, and then I'm going to go through some historical sources that I even have the actual URLs attached to, so you can actually look at these websites for yourself. So anyway, so we're going to start off with the scripture first, though. So let's see here. Let me go to Jeremiah 7:18 first, where Yahuwah's people was getting tied up with this mother goddess worship even back then. Okay. Okay, let's see here. Let's start at verse 17 of chapter 7 here. It says, "Or do you not see that they do what they do in the cities of Judah and in the cities of Jerusalem? Their sons collect together wood. Their fathers kindle a fire, and their women knead dough to make cakes to the army of heaven." So let me go to the Masoretic text, because Masoretic,
Queen of Heaven.
Yeah, Masoretic text will actually say Queen of Heaven here. Mm-hmm. The children gather wood, and the fathers kindle the fire, and the women knead their dough to make cakes to the Queen of Heaven, and to pour out drink offerings unto other mighty ones, that they may provoke me to anger. So, and if you're ever wondering what this is talking about, this is basically the celebration of Easter. Hot cross buns, stuff like that. That is making cakes to the Queen of Heaven. But celebration of Mother's Day can even be that too, because you're exalting a human woman higher than she should be exalted. So, and we're going to see historically how this ties to goddess worship. So just bear with me here. All right, so let's just stop share here, because I need to go back to the document. All right. Come on. Where's the heck? All right. The next one, Acts 19:25-27. So Acts chapter 19, 25-27. So he gathered together the workmen of that occupation and said, Sirs, you know that in this business we make a lot of money. And you see and hear that not only at Ephesus, but almost throughout all Asia, this Shaul has persuaded and turned away many people. He is saying that there are no mighty ones that are made with hands. And not only is there danger that our trade will no longer be needed, but also that the temple of the great goddess Diana may be considered worthless. Then she would even lose her greatness, she whom all Asia and the world worships. And keep that phrase in mind, the whole world worships, because there's nothing new under the sun. Back then she was known as Diana, now she's Mary, Queen of Heaven. Okay. So that same false god is still being worshipped today. Okay. Let's see here. Proverbs 31:30. And I'm going to be going to the Septuagint because there's a huge difference in this verse. And this is the only verse Christianity usually uses to give the idea that we need to praise our mothers on this day. They'll say, because a righteous woman should be praised, that they deserve to be praised or exalted. Okay. The Septuagint says, instead of the woman should be praised, it says, charms are false, and woman's beauty is vain, but it is a wise woman that is bereft, and let her praise the fear of Yahuwah. So it has nothing to do with the woman being praised. It has to do with her praising the fear of the Father. Huge difference there.
And it also is really expounding upon what a woman of Yahuwah really is and what she should be. You know, and that there aren't very many, you know, who can find, you know, it goes on to say that there's not many in this category, and, you know, these are the things that she should be.
All right. The next cross reference I have here is Jeremiah 44:17-19 and 25. Okay, so and this is going back to the Queen of Heaven. Okay. For we will surely perform every word that shall proceed out of our mouth, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, to pour out drink offerings to her, as we and our fathers have done, and our kings and princes in the cities of Yehuda and the streets of Jerusalem. And so we were filled with bread, and we were well, and saw no evil. But since we left off to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, we have been brought low, and have been consumed by sword and by famine. And then it even continues here saying, whereas we burned incense to the Queen of Heaven and poured drink offerings to her, did we make cakes to her and pour drink offerings to her without our husbands? All right. Let's go to verse 25 here. Thus has Yahuwah Elohim of Yasharal said, you women have spoken with your mouth, and you fulfilled it with your hands, saying, we will surely perform our vows that we have vowed, to burn incense to the Queen of Heaven, to pour drink offerings to her. Full well did you keep to your vows, and you have indeed performed them. Okay.
But hear the word of Yahuwah.
Next cross reference here. Luke 11:28. This is Yahusha's own words when someone is trying to magnify his mother and trying to put her on a pedestal. Luke 11:28. But he said, yea, rather, Baruch are they. So let's get some context here. Verse 27 to 28. But it came to pass as he spake these things, a certain woman of the company lifted up her voice and said to her, Baruch is the woman, is the womb that bare you, and the paps which you sucked. But he said, yea, rather, Baruch are they that hear the word of Yahuwah and keep it. So Yahusha's rebuking a woman for trying to esteem his mother higher than what she should be esteemed. Proverbs 8:32 is a cross-reference I have for that exact verse, because it talks about Baruch are those that keep the commandments. Proverbs 8:32. Now then, my son, hear me. Baruch is the man who shall hearken to me, and the mortal who shall keep my ways. Okay. Here we go. All right. Now we're going to get into, actually, no, we got one more cross-reference here. Referring to who is Yahusha's mother and brothers. Who does he consider his family to be? Luke 8:19 to 21. Then his mother and his brothers came to him, but they could not get near him because of the crowd. And he was told, your mother and your brothers are standing outside, wanting to see you. But Yahusha answered and said to them, my mother and my brothers are those that hear the word of Yahuwah and do it. Okay. All right. So now we're going to move on to the historical facts of these traditions. Okay. This is according to the historychannel.com. This historical fact about Mother's Day, okay, where it originates from. It says, celebrations of mothers and motherhood can be traced back to ancient Greeks and Romans who held festivals in honor of the mother goddesses, so not human mothers, okay, actual deities, okay, Ray and Sybil. But the clearest modern precedent for Mother's Day is the early Christian festival, which it would be more correct to say Catholic festival, known as Mothering Sunday. And you can find that right here on the URL I have posted on this document, www.history.com, thehistorychannel.com. All right, here's another bullet point I have. In a ritual from ancient Greece, on the 5th or 7th day after the birth, the child would be welcomed by a ceremony called amphidromia, running around, in which the father would walk around the earth several times, symbolizing the infant's integration into the household in a ritual called Decate, 10th day. The mother would return to her place in society marked by a meal attended by her close relatives and friends. And that is, the source for that is writings of a pagan witch, wordpress.com. So this is a pagan witch telling you the truth. And obviously she knows about it because that's her religion. That's what she practices. So, okay. Another thing she says on her page there that I have a bullet point for, The modern baby shower has roots in ancient Greece and Egypt. These rituals helped to initiate, that's a key phrase you should pay attention to, initiate a woman into her new role as a mother and strengthen the bonds between a newborn child and the larger community. That, and again, that's from her blog on Writings of a Pagan Witch, wordpress.com. So the reason I'm showing you guys this is historical secular facts. If the scriptures that we just read were not enough, you have secular historical evidence by even a Wiccan herself telling you, and even the History Channel website themselves telling you about these two traditions. So this was just a little short expose. I felt led to help our brothers and sisters out, and because I've noticed these two traditions have been two that are kind of being held on to in Hebrew roots, more or less the baby showers than Mother's Day. And I noticed that it's kind of one of those that's not so obvious in a way, because there's a lot less research on it, unless you found the website like I found. But anyway, so I hope this was edifying for those that were listening in, that were watching. I hope you learned something, and I hope this at least got you thinking about whether you should be celebrating these traditions or not, and whether they're biblical or not. So thank you for giving your ear to this study and having an open mind. To our brothers and sisters, I just want to say happy Sabbath evening, Shabbat Shalom, and see you tomorrow, Yahuwah willing. Shalom.